Good morning, everybody. Oh my gosh. How's it, guys? There's so many of you online already. I was still jamming to the music, and I hope you like the music because it really gets us going. Guys, it's a beautiful day, mid-November. Whew. Pause. Pause, pause, pause. Rain has come late in Gauteng. Well, it nearly washed some of you guys away. Centurion was like, I don't know, it looked like the Vaal River had exploded in Centurion. We've had enormous amounts of rain in KZN. PE is still like teetering on the edge, but your dams have filled up a little bit. All the Western Cape, I mean, come on, guys. You guys have got it all at the moment. You've got a bit of sunshine. You got all those lovely things. But all around there have been major changes. We've seen spring coming late. We've seen the rains come late. And I have two words. And I never ever thought, reading about it and having so much available to us that we can talk about and understand this. But when it really happens in your backyard, like the floods that we had earlier this year, and the extreme flooding that we saw in Hydrangea and other parts, and where there's been just no water. The two words are climate change. This is a reality. And for me, going into next year and thinking ahead as to what significant role I could play as a gardener, that for me is going to be like number one on the list. But in all of this, we still and have to keep top of mind that we want to keep the things close to us that we love the most. Whether it be our family, our mother-in-law, God bless you, whether it be your godchild, and whether it be the beautiful plants that we can have in our gardens. Those are the things that we need to pay attention to. Pay attention to the things that fill your cup, not halfway. No. That make it overflow. That make it overflow with joy and happiness and gratitude. And that is the message. That, folks, is the message. But today, we're going to holiday hacks. Oh, gosh, have you booked your holiday? Gaan julle see toe? Gaan julle ouma toe? Oma Grietjie? I'm sure there's an Oma Grietjie out there. Where are you going to and what are you doing? And if you are having a staycation, as we are, your staycation can be abundant. In fact, I did the really, really, really bad thing the other day of making a list of my staycation things that I want to do, and I don't see them as chores. And I think it's a mind shift that we might have to do. You know, I want to put up more shelves for my succulents. I really want to finish the terrace that we're busy with. I want to make sure that I've put the right color in. I want to build a wall. I want to build a wall that looks old, like old. So those are the things that like kind of tick my boxes. And as they say in the classics, if you were Marilyn Monroe and standing over that air vent, that blow your skirt up. But they are not necessarily chores. And my family around me say, will you stop working? Will you just relax? And I am relaxing by doing that. And that's what I love and I dig the most. So the only problem is I don't have enough days. But never mind, we'll get to that. Nothing like having something to look forward to. So whether you're staycationing or whether you are going away, guys, we've got a lot to share with you this morning. It's looking beautiful, it's looking gorgeous, and there are so many things I want to touch on. So let's get cracking. First of all, oh no, don't do that, Tanya. I always press the wrong button. Cancel. I think that's the right button. Okay, let's say good morning to everybody. Tandikile, good morning from Hillcrest. Hello, good morning. Kami, I want to build a pond and get 2 ducks in it. Kami, shh. We're going to say this quietly because I've been wanting to build a pond and the family are dead against it. But I'm going to send them away like for a manicure and a pedicure or like extended vacation, and I'm going to build my pond. Anyway, Indira, hello Indira from PE. Hello, how are you? Anelia, good morning from Paul. Avril, and what about Gugu of KZN? Who's Gugu? Avril. Am I missing something here? Oh, Gogo or Gugu. Are you going to visit Gogo or Gugu? Yeah. Or Auntie, or Granny. So we've my dad's sister. We call her Granny Dawn. But we've got lots of names for her. So it's Granny Dawn, Martha, George, Granny. And we call her all sorts of names, but she's such a sport. She just takes it all. Cindy May, good morning from Durban. Sialungi, good morning from Edendale and Pietermaritzburg. Wendy Martin, hello from the southern suburbs in Cape Town. Angela, also from Cape Town. Plants and trees blooming too early, too late, or very little. I hear you, sister, I hear you. Carol from Kleinmond, good morning. Renuka from Verulam, KZN, lovely to have you with us. Timbasile, good morning from Vanderbijl Park. Spigon Gile from Pinetown, awesome. It's overcast today, hey? But it's okay, we're having rain, we're not complaining. Patricia from Kempton Park. Salma Adams from Ikopo. Guys, you are all over. Janine from Somerset West. Marianne, good morning from Westbrook Beach in the North Coast. Jenny McNabb, good morning. Marlene Ruitt from Port Alfred. Guys, thank you so much for all of you, and for those of you that are going to be watching a little bit later, welcome to a little piece of inspiration and paradise for you all. So if we are going away for the holidays, and even if it means that we're just going away for 2 days or 3 days, we of course have got plants that we need looking after. Now, number one, if you're getting a house sitter, interview them, show them where the plants are. I really often recommend that you take, because indoor plants, we have one here, we have one there, we have it there. Take the plants and put them in one place where they will get the right light, okay? So that your house sitter, babysitter, dog sitter, whatever it is, it's easy for them to then water. Don't make it a hack, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to forget one. They are going to forget one. And you'll come back and it'll be crispy, like sitting in the corner, like, pick me. Yes, you got forgotten. Okay, so put them in one spot. If necessary, just put a towel underneath them, put some black plastic, okay? If it's on a table, put a towel down so that watering is made easy. Don't make them have to carry hose pipes and pull this, and where's the watering can, dude? Okay, so let's keep it simple. For plants outside plants, if you are going away, okay, you've got 2 choices here. One, you can plant up before you go, like if it's pots and instant color and that, as long as you have got somebody responsible to water them. Okay, and we cannot rely on the big guy upstairs to turn the irrigation on when we need it. So you can either make that choice, or you can plant when you are back. And when I'm talking color, I'm talking especially your little seedlings and your instant color. So that's a thought that you need to get over in how you are going to deal with it. Of course, plants that are outside and even in pots, please mulch them. Mulch. Now, guys, I've gone on about mulch all year. I am not even going to show you samples of mulch because you should all know what it is. If you still don't know what mulch is, then when we finish this thing now, you're going to go onto the Builders YouTube channel and you're going to type in mulch, okay? And a whole lot of clips are going to come up to show you what mulch is, how you can use it, and why, okay? And it's very important. Just because I'm not talking about it here today doesn't mean it's not important. It is very important. And what it's going to do is protect those plants and help trap in the moisture on those sunny days when you're away, op die dam, or in the sea. Okay, all right. Now, the other option, of course, is to install a basic irrigation system. Okay, but now back off. We're not talking like pop-ups and Bluetooth and screens and that you're going to have to like actually leave one child behind because you can't afford to take it on the holiday because you just bought an irrigation system. No, these are really simple things that you can pick up at your local builders. They really are easy, but often we get very caught up in the technical bits, but there are very, very simple things that you can do. Look, I'm not technical with all those buttons and stuff, so if I do, and I have one put in, it's really simple. It's a very simple thing, you know, it just goes round and round and round. That's all it does. Some of them you can just even hook up to your hose pipe. But if you're not too sure about them and you really are a bit nervous of them, we've got this clip prepared and I want you to watch it just to give you a bit of insight. You never know. It might even just give you some ideas of what you want to ask Father Christmas for. Have a look.
We've all spent many hours at home watering the garden with a hose pipe or a watering can. The problem is you've got very little control of how much water you're applying. Having a home irrigation system is affordable and easy to install and allows you to water the garden while you're busy elsewhere. Now remember, indigenous plants don't need as much water as exotic plants. However, they still need water. Before we begin with the installation, there's a few basics we need to discuss. LDPE pipe or low density polyethylene pipe is available in a wide variety of lengths and diameters. We're using the 20mm pipe. Fittings are either available in two styles. These clip-on fittings, which are color-coded. The green is the 20mm size, the blue is the 15mm. Or these barbed fittings, which are used with a hose clamp. You can also use a combination of the two. Please also make sure to check out the other videos in the description below that all relate to the irrigation topic. So what you will need is LDPE pipe in the diameter you choose and the length required, a garden tap clip-on fitting and at least one end cap, a selection of rigid risers or sprayers, various connections such as 90-degree bends and so forth, as well as a hole puncher, a set of pipe cutters like this pair from Grip or a utility knife, and you may also need a spade if you choose to bury the pipe. Start off by laying your LDPE pipe in the approximate position, in this case a flower bed. I'm using some bricks to hold it down while I work. Now LDPE pipe is really easy to work with in that it cuts easily and attaching the fittings is simple regardless of which connection option you choose. Now LDPE pipe can be bent gradually, but avoid kinking the pipe. These kinks can lead to a water leak down the line. If you have a tight bend, rather cut it and use a 90-degree connector. So our basic line is laid and I'm going to start with the tap end and cut a length longer than I need to reach from the tap to the ground. We'll trim this down later. Then at ground level, I'm putting on a 90-degree bend and using these fittings, I'm simply going to cut and join the pipe as I need until we get to the end of the flower bed. So we've gotten to the end of our line, but at this stage it's important not to put on the end cap. We still need to flush the system and you'll see why shortly. Now along the edge of this flower bed, I've decided to bury the pipe so that the lawnmower and weed eater don't cut the piping. Attaching the rigid risers is dead simple if you have a pipe punch. Simply punch a hole and push the plastic nozzle into the pipe. Now I do find it helps with a pair of long nose pliers. Now if we look at the packaging, we can see the optimum spray distance of each head. So using this, we can plan where to place the risers. The risers can be heightened a bit on the stake for better reach. And if you need to extend the tubing, get a roll of flexible PVC tube and some joiners and away you go. Just don't run this for too long, otherwise you may suffer from friction loss. And if you need to move a riser, you're going to need a pack of these aptly called mistake corrector plugs. Now back at the tap, I can cut the final height of the pipe and attach the garden tap adapter and clip it on. Remember I said earlier not to put the end cap yet. Well, there's a good chance we've got debris in the pipe, a bit of sand from working here and the plastic bits from when we punched the holes. I want to flush the pipe first for a few seconds and then we can attach the end cap. The last thing I want today is a blocked nozzle. There we go, a simple installation, ideal for a small garden, a complex garden, maybe even your offices. Please remember to check the links below for the other videos that form part of the irrigation series when you're doing your planning. And remember, everything I've used today is available at Builders, in-store or online at builders.co.za. For more videos like this, check out the blog on the website. Get to Builders, get it done.
Okie dokie, so there it is, really nice and easy. You don't need to get overwhelmed and all that, start twitching and stuff. It's all fine. But that's something to think about. And if you've got a bit of time on your hands, well, it could come in handy. And the interesting thing is you save water when you're using an irrigation system. If you install it correctly, apply the correct nozzle. So in other words, a 180 if it's near the edge of a pathway, if it's a 360 in larger beds, you most certainly can save water instead of having to just go out there willy-nilly and try and apply with a hose pipe. Okay. All right. However, possibly one of my favorite things, and remember I was telling you, okay, if you're going away, put down the bath towel, put down some black plastic, bin bags will do the job, and you're putting your plants on it. Have something handy that they can water the plants with, okay, so they don't have to go looking, okay, all over. And the great thing about this is that, of course, is this guy over here. You all know this. You will get them. 2-liter plastic bottle, okay, but the secret part is inside here. Look. Oh, and this is another cool holiday hack, by the way. We do this. Like if you've got something cute on the table that you want to reveal, or it's a little something, then you buy these little handles, these little handles, okay, and then you screw it to the top of a normal terracotta pot, and then underneath it for you today is 3, 2, 1, ta-dam, these guys. Now, let me tell you, if you do not have one of these and you're worrying about what to put in someone's stocking, you buy one of these. You get 3. You get 3 of them in a pack at your local Builders. And they're all different spray nozzles for different applications. But the perfect part about this is what we love. And I cannot tell you how many of these we've got around the garden. But I've got these hidden in strategic places where no one will know where they are, like behind the certain bromeliad on the left-hand side when you walk into my shade house. I've got outside the garage, I've got a few hidden over there, because when you're looking for it and you can't find it, you want to have a conniption. So it's really easy. You just pop your plant food inside there, which is great. Apply whatever nozzle you want. Give it a good shake. And let's go over here and give these a good water. So this makes life so much easier. See? So much easier. I cannot tell you how this little thing, this little incy wincy teeny weeny little thing has just helped. And that's really what it's all about, has just helped. So consider those, keep them, don't lose them. And if I were you, I'd actually buy 2 sets, and I'd hide the one in my sock drawer, if I were you, so that you know where it is when these ones get lost or someone else has taken them away. Okay, guys, let's talk about patio and seating areas that we all might want to just zhuzh up. And of course, budget. Still got to have a bit of cash left for some nice crackers and whatever else, and you still want to be able to zhuzh up different areas of the home. But one of the easiest and quickest ways to fix something in an area where, being South Africa, where it's beautiful and sunshiny, is the patio, where we're going to spend time. So There are a couple of ideas that we've literally thrown together, which I want to show you how easy they are. Now, number one is this. Okay. Now, it might just look like an ordinary workbench, and absolutely it is. We've got a couple of these. You pick them up from your local builders, and they in kit form. And trust me, it even comes with the Allen key that you need to put it together. So, yes, it does work. The only thing that we have added is we added some, yep, there they are, some wheels. We've added some wheels so that when we need to move this guy, we just pull him around wherever you want to go. Simple caster wheels. We painted the top with a nice chalk paint, and well, there you go. A serving rack, a place for plants, a place for potting up, and just about anything. It's got so many uses. And then when it's not in use, you just like push it into a corner because it's on the slidey wheels, and you don't even have to ask someone to help you carry it. So this is a must. This is an absolute must. Come and take a look over here. Now, walls, greening spaces, you might want to do something quick and simple and easy just to create a bit of zhuzh. And I call it zhuzh, and it's my take on vertical gardening. Because listen, guys, I mean, it's difficult enough to garden on the floor and on a level space. And here we are now trying to garden vertically. That's not for sissies, hey? All right. And so I'm going to give you a very simple way to garden vertically by creating a green wall. So now this would be typically on your patio where you get diffused light. It would not be in full sun, guys. Not in full sun. If you wanted full sun options, I'm going to show you something a little bit later. But the plants that I've used here are for diffused light. So we've got a little fern. We've got a bird's nest fern here. We've got this little guy. It's a little pilea. Okay. Pelea, actually, not pilea, pelea. And look, it's like in its pot, and you just like pop it in. Yeah. Could it get any easier? All right. So you might be wondering about these guys. Okay. So these guys you pick up from your local builders. They're there by the pot section. And by the trellis section, that's where you go and have a look. And you get these guys, and you simply just screw them in. And a 12 to 15 centimeter terracotta pot fits these perfectly because it's got the right lip. And then Bob's your uncle. Vertical gardening. It's lovely. It works. And when you get tired of this, well, you know, there are different options. You could put a bit of soil in here, and you could put candles in them. You could intersperse with some awesome color. So it's something that can work. The other thing is that it's on a piece of trellis. Okay, so the trellis is also movable. So when you get tired of it, all you do is unscrew the trellis. And remember, there are various ways that you put trellis up. You don't necessarily have to drill it in. You can also hook it in. And if you're looking for a very interesting way, Pendila did a clip and an educational on different ways to hang up trellis. And there's some really clever ways in there that requires no drilling, no power tools, which could really work for you guys. So keep a lookout for that. But here's a beautiful piece of trellis, plain and simple, quite a classic. And then, you can have no holiday hacks. You could even wear this as a necklace if you really wanted to. I do think it's quite cool. All right. If we're looking for something that's a bit more robust, now, I'm like a womble. So when I go to the local dump where I've got to, you know, they weigh your bucky and they check what you've got on it, and then they say, right, you can proceed or whatever. It's amazing how many step ladders I found. Step ladders that other people have thrown away. And I promise you, I think I've got 4 or 5 in the shed. And we use them for different things. So they are not suitable for climbing up to do painting because you will fall off it. Because most times it's missing something and will break. But it's the most perfect thing for displaying plants. So here is one such, collected from the dump, but for a more sunny spot. we've simply put a couple of succulents on it. We've even got a few hooks which you can hang your gardening tools on right on the side. So it kind of like, you know, for me, it does the trick. It's easy, it's simple, it's effective. And for those of you that have space issues and you run out of space, these things, the step ladder from the dump and the piece of trellis give you alternatives that you can use to go up without having to put up shelves, bar brackets, drilling and all that stuff. So, I mean, here in the wood, literally, it's a wood screw and in these little round things go. So, really quick and easy with great transformation, which can be done literally in a sec. Okay, so getting back to here, I want to stay over here because I want to show you some other quick fixes that can work. Now, okay, the potted rose. It's still around, guys, the potted rose. And if you want to learn more about the potted rose, boy, have we got a story to tell you in our December issue. The potted rose is truly a plant with enormous potential. And I'm talking about not only here for when the visitors are going to come and you need to have something that's alive on the patio, you know, you quickly run into builders and on those first few tables, you'll grab something. It'll be a poinsettia, it'll be a rose, or it might even be a little chrysanthemum. I know you're going to do it. I mean, I know you're going to do it. And that's fine, but what do we do with them afterwards? Don't let them die and throw them away. No, because, guys, this rose has enormous potential. 12 years ago, I had a potted rose. It was at my mom's memorial, and it was a yellow potted rose, and it turned out to be the rose South Africa. And when we had finished, I wanted them to live on, so we got a pair of secateurs, and all we did was, once it had finished flowering, and of course this hasn't finished flowering, but I just want to show you very quickly how you're going to do it. You're going to take it and you're just going to remove just these top bits. You see, not too low. You want still, as I've removed about 1/3 on the top. Not too much, guys, okay? Because remember that the leaves are the powerhouse. You're then going to take this guy and you're going to plant it out in the garden. We planted 3 in 3 wooden barrels. 3 of those big wooden barrels. To this day, those 3 beautiful South Africa, that were these teeny weeny little potted roses, are growing and flowering and looking amazing still. In fact, true story, the wooden barrel rotted, the plant's still alive, and I had to replace the wooden barrel. So kind of like, it's got resilience. And so I encourage you to look at something like the little potted rose, which will give you that much more. Of course, there's the little chrysanthemum. Come on now, everybody loves this. I love this Lumo yellow. Lumo yellow, nice and bright. And I can see it on a table. I can see it in the spare bedroom when you are waiting for your honored guests to arrive. And I can see it sitting next to, oh, blow my socks off, a beautiful amaryllis. Now, guys, there's still time. We planted these bulbs. You can actually see it's still got, I put the name in it, where we planted them in a very, very coarse mixture. So what I did was we got a whole lot of bulbs at our local builders, and what we did was I took a potting soil and I mixed it with some gravel. I actually used Ungaini sand, river sand. So I mixed it. You can see it's a very, very well-drained soil. Very, very well-drained. And all we did was we popped the bulb in up to its neck, okay, just so that its neck is sticking out. There it is. We gave them water once a week, and hi caramba, boom, boom, shake the room. Look what happened. We have got this most amazing amaryllis. We've probably got about 10 pots flowering at the moment. I can't get enough of them. And I just love them. And if you had to do that now, plant them now, you will have them in time. But what a combination. And as a gift. In fact, if some of them are still flowering by Christmas, I think I might give them to the aunties. It beats soap on a rope. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Anyway, I love it. I love these. And you know, my late Uncle King, his name was actually Keith, Uncle Keith, but nobody could say Keith. So we thought, Keith, it wouldn't come out right. So we all called him Uncle King. My late Uncle King loved amaryllis, and I've actually still got his original collection sitting in concrete pots that my dad made. And yeah, so gotta love them. When I see these, my heart goes good-oof, good-oof. Yeah. All right, so there's some options, okay? And, oh, I've got to show this baby off. Come on, look at me. Shh, shh. This one is, who is this? This is an Intokazi white. Going over a little bit, but oh, the beauty. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 off one stem. 4. We had to remove the other stem because it had already finished flowering, but that is just spectacular. And effort, minimal. Impact, you're a good gardener. Okay, right. Let's talk about this over here, what I've got going on behind me. Quickest, easiest way for impact to highlight areas, or maybe just take the eye away from other things that you don't want people to look at, are, of course, hanging bowls. We've got a beautiful scaviola in here. Now these options are for full sun, guys, full sun. I know so many of you try and plant up baskets, and sure, you put the wrong plant in it, and 2 weeks later, it is dead. Okay, so go for plants that are going to do the job. And for me, these two are absolute king of the jungle. This is a beautiful pink scaviola, incredibly tough, really, really tough, loves the full sun. You get it in a beautiful blue. You also get it in a white, so depending on what your color scheme is. Here is a euphorbia. Believe it or not, part of the poinsettia family. Why do we know that? Because when I break it, there's going to be, there it is, a little bit of sap, a little bit of glue coming off there. There it is. Okay, now that sap, listen, if you're going to like touch all the sap, break all the leaves and touch the sap and then touch your eyes, yes, it's probably going to sting a bit, and your eyes should sting because you shouldn't be doing that to the plant. But this guy over here, you get different varieties. For me, the king of them all has to be Euphorbia Diamond Frost, which is spectacular, amazing flowers. Will have these little colorful bracts every day of the year. Loves the sun, loves to be treated badly. Beautiful, absolutely amazing. And then, of course, solar colored lights. Solar. And I'll show you that they are solar because we had a look. It comes with its, you see, it comes a little spiky thing here, so you can just pop it in anywhere. And we had to put this on because obviously we're in a studio, and they're off. Okay, they're off. So when nighttime comes, they're back on. And inexpensive, guys. The things that we're showing you here don't cost thousands of rands. They really don't. But there are ways, most certainly, that you can add a bit of zhuzh and a bit of bling. Oh, and my favorite. Oh, come look. I know someone's going to ask about this. Okay, this is like, okay, I need one of these because I might look a little bit more. No, let's not go there. Okay. These over here, they come in different colors, and it's a simple bulb. Do you see that? One of these little filament bulbs inside here, and it works on a battery underneath. Okay, really easy. Turn it off and turn it on. Don't you love it? On the Christmas table, ding, 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 at night for a bit of ambiance. How's your father on the patio? Just gorgeous, just gorgeous. Okay, right. Come along this way because we've had a lot of fun preparing this for you. Of course. Oh my gosh, if I could hug a plant, I want to hug this hydrangea. It's hydrangea time, guys. It's middle of November. They started flowering early. You've read about the beautiful endless summer. You've read about the lace caps. There are so many different hydrangeas available out there for instant color, for a bit of zhuzh. That doesn't mean that when they finish, they're now dead. No, when they finished, you're going to prune them back to the next swelling bud, which is going to be along the stem. So when this goes, okay, down here, you will see a bud will start developing, which is going to be a leaf bud, not a flower, a leaf bud. And you're going to just top it off and prune it back to there, because that is then going to encourage the new leaf growth. Remember, hydrangeas come from Japan. They need lots of water, okay, and they need lots of mulch, preferably a morning sun, preferably not a hot afternoon sun, because a hot afternoon sun really does burn these guys. I'm often asked, well, how do I keep the color? I want it pink, you know. I mean, we are so demanding. I need my hydrangea to stay pink. Okay, if you want it to stay pink, that's fine, you can do it. There are some hydrangeas that keep their color, but what you've got to do is you've got to make sure you read the label and check out which ones they are. For instance, there's Hydrangea Madame Emile Mollet. That's a white. She always stays white. The only part that changes is the little pip in the middle here. That's the only part that will change to say whether if it's acidic or alkaline. So you do get hydrangea food, okay, which is this stuff here, which enhances the color. So if your hydrangea kind of is looking a bit tie-dye, a bit washed out, then you feed it this, okay? All the instructions, believe it or not, are on the back here. They are all here. It's one of these teaspoons into 5 liters of water, and you drench the plant, okay? And you do that. You do that once a week, all right? And there are other hydrangea foods which enhance the color blue, and there are hydrangeas foods that enhance the color pink. So when you're at your local builders, look out for it. This is a general food that gives nutrition and enhances the color that the soil, that the plant is then taking up from the soil. So either acid or alkaline, which means it's either going to be pink or blue, but it will then be intense. It won't just be like your t-shirt that's been washed too many times. Okay, but amazing for color, and I just love them. The holidays just wouldn't be the same without a hydrangea or two. And when I'm finished with them, they go into the shade garden. It's that simple, guys. They go into the shade garden. Okay, let's take a look over here. Oh, gosh, getting up on my creaky knees. Okay, let's have a look over here. Another quick option for a bit of zhuzhing. Look at this wee little pump inside here. Hold on, look at it. Look, Mummy. Look how small that little pump is. Small little water feature pump, couple of R100. Inside, there we go. It could be a bowl, it could be even a vase, a bit of gravel, a few aquatic plants in there, a rock, and you've got something that's really pretty. I mean, really pretty. And we all know what water does. We all know that sound, that beauty, that tranquility. And you know, if you really want to take it to the next level, then get some floating candles. Or even better, do this. Do this. Come. We're going to do it right now. Okay, we're going to do it right now. So, of course, you could fill this thing up a little bit more, but you could simply just do this. That, to me, is the epitome of simplicity and beauty. I like that. That's quite nice. I'm having a Zen moment. Okay, never mind. Right. Okay, guys. Next up, the pot in front of me. Now, a lot of you are plant parents. A lot of you have got into this whole, oh my gosh, I need more indoor plants. I need more oxygen. I need more happiness. I need all of that in my home. And yes, you are going to end up buying something like the poinsettia. I know you are. You're going to buy the chrysanthemum. And instead of buying a bunch of flowers, like cut flowers that are going to last 10 days, think long term. Think long term, and this is where we go. Unless, of course, you can get the flowers out your garden, all right? But here we have a hanging basket, and literally I've put a few plants in it that I know are going to stand the test of time. I know that planted up in here, this hanging bowl or hanging basket is going to go on for at least 1 year comfortably. All right, what have I got in here? I've got a beautiful fuchsia sun dancer. Fuchsia sun dancer is tough. It can grow right on the coast as long as it doesn't get that sea air, so protect it. It can grow up in Gauteng, it can grow in Port Elizabeth, it can grow almost anywhere. I've got a heuchera. This heuchera is called plum pudding. It's grown mainly for its foliage, and all of these enjoy filtered light, okay? We've got a Guzmania in here. Look at that beautiful Guzmania. And of course, we've got a freesia. Now, all of these, this flower on here will last for up to 3 months on the plant, equally with this. When they finished flowering, you cut them back. You either leave them in here and wait for them to flower again, or do what I do. After like a year, I then take them out and I plant them in the garden, okay? Because then I'm recycling them, upcycling. I'll take the fuchsia when it gets a bit too big, take it out and put it into the garden. But what we've done is, for a period of time, 12 months, I've got something that's really beautiful, and that I can then take and upcycle. Likewise, this pot over here. Take a look at this pot. I mean, this to me, this like pops. It makes me excited. I planted this morning, and I really like it, and I think it's going to go on the patio. Actually, it might even go in the bathroom. But what we've got in here is once again, it's like the same thing. We've combined plants together, which give us a focal point, a feature, something more than just one. And the plants that we've got in here, this is called a calathea. Now, calatheas are grown mainly for their foliage. We've got some in the garden. They are frost sensitive. So if you do live in an area that does get frost, keep them in a pot rather. And then what you can do is rather keep them there in a pot near an area that doesn't get frost. Of course, we don't get frost here, so they love it in the garden. But this calathea is fantastic. We've got this philodendron, which I saw for the first time yesterday, and so I bought it. And it's called Philodendron Prince of Orange. Isn't it sexy? Oh, I love it. But look at the different colors. Look. It's like a bronze. Look at that. And then here. Look, I mean, I was just amazed. I was just completely amazed by the colors. I mean, it's seriously gorgeous. And then along here, I've got the philodendron. Now, this over here, I actually think that this has been incorrectly named. This is a scindapsus. This is a scindapsus, so don't believe a word I say about this plant. This is a scindapsus, and it's of the aurea variety. I cannot tell you it's specific, but you can see it's got these beautiful colored yellow and green splotches, which I think are like, hallelujah, how did that happen? It's insane. And then, of course, a little freesia over here for a pop of color. But that, my friends, will last forever and ever and ever. The plant that is going to grow the fastest and get the biggest is going to be this. Okay, so if this guy grows really, really too big, you either then decide to take one of these out or one of these out and move them on into their own pot, or into another pot combination, or into the garden. Nice and easy. This is not the end of the road for these plants, and that's what is important. It's about combining textures, colors, that kind of give you that kick. Yeah. Okay. I believe there are lots of questions to answer, so I'm going to hop across to the queue, and let's have a look at what's going on here. And now I've got drops of water all in my glasses. Okay, hold on a second, guys. Hold on. Let me just... I've locked myself out my computer again. Right. Okay. So, okay. Oh, Where are we? Let's just go over here. Okay. How often? Tandakele. Tandakele, I hope I pronounced that right. Tandakele, how often must I water my orchids? Tandakele, once a week. Once a week. We do have a very informative educational clip on the Builders YouTube channel on how to look after my orchids. So please do go and just type on the search bar, how to look after my orchids. We give you on that what you feed them with, how you water them, how not to water them, and how even to repot them. So please take a look at that. Samantha, please advise or help. Our amaryllis, got eaten by worms before they, right, stop the bus. You are absolutely right. Samantha, there is a caterpillar. It starts off obviously as a moth. It flies around, and this moth loves to lay its eggs on amaryllis leaves, on clivia leaves, on agapanthus leaves. Generally, when we get to see it, it has eaten. Because that's the only reason why we stop and look, because something's missing. Half the plant is gone. Okay? So there are various ways to treat it. The way that we do it, guys, is we use our powers of observation and we watch. And we watch. And as soon as you have a change in season, like now with the rain that's come and we have heat, I know those moths have been around. We have seen them. Their eggs are laid. If you do see the eggs, you squish them with your finger. It's really easy. The other way is, as soon as you see those caterpillars, what I would recommend that you use is EcoBuzz Lava Pro. Lava Pro, what it does is, literally, it stops that little caterpillar from eating, okay, and it dies anorexic. Really nice and easily. And if you choose to eat the caterpillar afterwards because you're feeling hungry, nothing will happen to you because it's a completely biological process. Okay. Nazima, what type of soil is needed for an avocado plant? I've planted 2 and both have died. No. Nazima, where do you live? That's the first thing I want to know. Is if you live in a frost area, an area that receives frost, if you are planting a young avo, you are going to need to cover it before the first frost arrives. You are going to have to cover it because they do not like frost. They also do not like a lot of salt air, okay? Heavy salt air coming directly off. The other important thing is when you plant an avocado pear is to try not to disturb the roots, okay, because they normally come in a long sleeve. Try not to disturb that. So what I suggest is you dig your hole, you put the whole plant in the hole with its bag, with the bag, and then you just take a knife and make a few slits on the side of the bag, and then the roots will make their way out. Do not overwater. A good watering, a deep watering once a week is more than enough. Okay, how much time do we have? More than enough time. Right, guys, I showed you this beautiful lighting, and I love it. I love the lighting because it's just like, zhuzh. And, it's way better than having a bright layering light on. And whether it's just a little candle, those cheap little white candles, I don't know, just be careful with it, be responsible with it. But what I do want to show you very quickly is how to make your own very, very little thing of string lights. Take a look here. All right, folks, right. That's how you make your lights. Quick, simple, easy, okay? If you missed all of that, you can always rewind, of course, on Facebook, or you can go to the YouTube channel and take a look at it. Okay, for color, for bursts of color that we want, to brighten things up for summer that are going to go on with complete conviction until May, okay? Until May next year. That's how long this color is going to last you. Quickly, I'm going to go through them. Okay, marigolds, guys. Oh, come on, I love them. I mean, I fall in love with them all the time. Look at that. Yellows, yellow and red, orange, strawberry. Look at them, from smalls to these large pom-poms. Fantastic for full sun. I love them. I really like the strawberry. Isn't it beautiful? Look at it. Look at that strawberry. Okay. I mean, it's fantastic. So, of course, any type of marigold you would want. Let's just cruise along here to the right. Celosias. Beautiful celosias. Okay, you get them in many different colors. Here's the red. All right, you get oranges. They're really bright. They're great for full sun. They get to about 30 centimeters. Taurinias, preferably a morning sun, not full hot Sunday, full day sun. You don't want that. But taurinias, you get them in the single colors, and you can also get them in a mixed. Zinnias. Oh, guys, zinnias, they withstand all of our summer rain and they still look gorgeous. Either in mixed colors or in the single colors like we've got here. I love this yellow. This yellow just like pops. It pops all over the garden, and it really is beautiful. Some more salvias here. Of course, these salvias are the traditional bedding salvias, so they stay low and small and compact. We get the red, and this I love. I really like this. This is like a plum. We planted the plum last summer, and we have planted more again this summer. And I know, I mean, they withstand rain, hail, whatever gets thrown at you. They really do the job. Of course, petunias. Petunias, guys, are strongly, if you're going to go for petunias and you're in a rainfall area, I prefer that you rather go for what we call the calibrachoas, which are these, the little guys, okay? I would really recommend that you rather went for these. They enjoy sunny spots, and they really have got loads of beautiful color. The larger flowered ones don't like the summer rain. So for Western Cape, areas where you are not getting the summer rainfall, then these larger flowered ones would be an option for me. Okay, so now what I'm going to show you is a couple of other options that you can use. Okay, and especially there was a question about what can I use for pots on my patio that gets a lot of sun. Who did that question come from? Let's just go here. It came from Janine. Janine, this is what you can use in containers for summer, for lots of sun. And the other thing is, you can also plant these in the garden for that pop of color that we're all looking for. Okay, so first of all, look at this baby. So this is Shasta daisy. Come on, we know the Shasta daisy. Yes, it's white. But this one is called sunfinch, I think. Sunfinch yellow, something like that. It is spectacular. And remember, this is a true perennial, okay? So this plant, when it's finished flowering, you prune it back, and it comes away again. But for me, as a container plant, to give a little bit of powwow, you know what I mean? I want to show you a little combination here. So for me, if I was doing a container plant, this is what I would do. And I'm going to show you a couple here. So I would use this guy, and let me just get his proper name. He is, where are you? Oh my word, okay. Goldfinch, I think it's called. Right, leucanthemum. So for me, I would use that, okay. I would then, as an alternative, instead of that, I could put this little coreopsis next to it, yellow as well. Coreopsis loves the full sun, fantastic. Also a good perennial, okay. Yes, it is called goldfinch. Beg your pardon, leucanthemum goldfinch. I had that. Coreopsis, brilliant, tough as nails. Both of these don't require that much water. Okay, now what do I put with it? Okay, hold on to your Bridget Joneses or hold on to your boxes, because this is what we're going to put with it. Oh man, come on now. Look at that. We've got a blue, beautiful coleus here. This is an awesome container plant, and although it might look quite soft, the interesting thing is they did some trials on these as to what plants require the most water, and these and this guy coped far better than a whole lot of other plants with this soft kind of leafy appearance. So don't be worried about the soft, gentle look that they have, because they are incredibly tough. But for me, I would go there, and I would go there. Now, guys, for me, now that is a combination. That is leucanthemum, goldfinch, that is a coleus, and this is indigenous Mona lavender. This is a plectranthus that's called Mona lavender. And this blue is fantastic. Now, remember, if you don't want to put them into a pot, this can just go into a garden bed. So imagine there's your garden bed. Yeah? Because you've got some height here, you've got that, you've got that. And then, of course, we could also just have something else behind it that could give you a little bit more height. But what I could also do is just bring in a bit of movement, which could come in the form of some grasses. So can you see the garden bed? Okay, so there's the garden bed. We've got the Shasta daisies in the back. We've got a little group of this lovely grass, which is called Carex bronco. We've got this coleus, which is just loving this. They're just loving each other. Changes of textures. And then I've got a Mona lavender here. So you can take this idea and expand it into a garden bed, or simply just take one of each and put it into a pot. And that's the joy and beauty about combining plants like this. Of course, there's another option, and we could do it as simply as this. We could take something grey. Okay. We could take something grey like this little guy, and this is called the Caliophilus, a terrible name, but it's called the cushion plant. Okay, so this is a very, very interesting creature, very interesting plant. And if we're thinking about hot sunny spots, tough as nails, what can I plant there? What's going to live? Well, I am thinking something like this. And when we're talking about a little pot recipe, yummy, yummy. See, lime green. This is a little sedum. We're using the bronco again, and we've got this little Caliocephalus. But if you can't get hold of this, don't stress. Just use something grey. Just find something grey at your local builders that can replace it. Okay, and then you could also, like, then just move the cheese completely and put that in there. Oh man, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that lovely? Okay, so there are ways, guys, there are ways of playing around with plants and getting the colors that you want. And for me, what's most important is that we are always just playing with color and texture. And that, to me, is what really makes gardening the most fun. Guys, we have touched on a lot of bits and bobs and things that you can use and ways to inspire, and they don't cost an arm and a leg. Folks, remember that your best gardening magazine is available at your local builders. This is the December issue. This is the November issue, which is on sale now. It has the most spectacular garden in it. It is insane. It's called Brahman Hills. The cover is of Brahman Hills. Guys, it's going to knock your socks off in terms of combinations of dry planting, of plants that cope in hot sun, like textures that just took my breath away. Literally just took my breath away. Completely inspiring, really completely inspiring. Of course, let's braai en kom ons braai. This is South Africa, guys. Get out there and get your local, get your magazine, because in there are mouth-watering, yummy, yummy things that besides the prawns and a whole lot of other things, and camping, and how to look after, how to make your own biltong. Yeah, it's all in there, and it's going to make your mouth water. And then, of course, grow to eat with these yummy tomatoes on full 4 to 5 pages in this magazine of how to get the best out of your tomatoes and how to make them foolproof. And remember as well, this particular magazine, which is now your summer. So in here, it takes you through September, October, November, okay? It gives you your 3-month summer list, okay? It gives you your list of everything that you need to plant, sow, and harvest. It's right here in this magazine. So, guys, and of course, yummy recipes. You can find them at your local builders. Now, remember to visit the blog on Builders if you're looking for any more inspiration, because there's loads out there, guys, from how to change a light bulb to how to create something cool in the garden. There is something there for you. You just got to go into the search bar. We'll answer all your questions a little bit later. For those that we didn't get to, we will get to them later on this afternoon. I hope that you have been inspired. Their color in abundance, and small things that make a difference. To those of you who have been on this builder's journey with us for the entire year on these builders masterclasses, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me and enjoying this excitement. When I see you there, I get excited. And it's been lovely to get back on the road again with the road shows. Keep watching the Facebook page, because a couple more will be coming up, I think, pretty early next year. So keep an eye out. But if I don't see you until then, from me to you and from the amazing team that supports me, which you can't see, that are behind these lenses, I say happy holidays to you. God bless you. Take care of you and yours. And most importantly, as always, happy gardening.